Well, hey everyone out there in Delaware County, this is Eric Thompson from Darlington Arts Center, who's also part of Delco Arts Week as your host today as we take a tour out of Delaware County. And I am thrilled to have this moment to have a conversation with Frances Sheehan from the Foundation for Delaware County. Welcome, Frances.
Thank you so much, Eric. I'm thrilled to be included.
Well, it's great to see you. I'm sorry that we're doing it this way. You know, this time last year, I think we caught each other at many of the events, but I'm happy that at least we get to reconnect virtually through this really wonderful week. Frances, would you mind telling everyone that's watching what the Foundation for Delaware County, how it came to be, and what it's all about?
Sure. Okay. So the Foundation for Delaware County was created 4 years ago, and we inherited the nonprofit assets of the Crozier Keystone Health System, and we're an independent community foundation serving all of Delaware County. And we've been dedicated from the beginning to creating a vibrant community by encouraging philanthropy and collaboration and communication across all sorts of sectors in our county. So that does mean making grants to support nonprofits, but we also look for opportunities to bring nonprofits together. So when we were presented with the idea of sponsoring the Delco Arts Week, I guess it was, a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, we agreed there was a perfect opportunity for the Foundation for Delaware County to step forward, and we partnered with the Visit Delco, the Visitors Bureau, to make that happen last year. And then it was so successful last year and could see the potential for growth. And so we agreed to do it again this year. And we also underwrite our region's public television and radio station, WHYY, and we use that as an opportunity to let our listeners know about Delco Arts Week. And we're so pleased that despite the pandemic that you're up and running again this year, albeit mostly virtually.
As are we, and thank you so much for the second year of sponsoring. That's, you know, on behalf of all of our members, we're really thrilled and excited to partner with you. And we heard or at least I did, I heard the WHY ad today, and it was a thrilling thing to hear Delco Arts Week when you're driving to the Wegmans, so it was very exciting.
Wonderful.
Frances, you know, I'm cheating because you and I know each other a little bit better through this partnership, so I know that you're an arts fan. What is it about the arts that is important to you, and how does that come into the organization or the mission?
So I just think it's a critical part of a healthy community. I mean, it's not just my opinion. It's our whole team just really values the arts, whether it's music, the painting, visual. It's really just such an integral part of a vibrant community. And I really admire the creativity that artists bring to their work. It's not who I am. My son is a musician. My dad was, all he ever listened to was symphonies. And so I love music. I think it's how you, it's just how, I can't imagine a world in where we didn't have the arts. And I know how underfunded it is and how unappreciated it can be by sort of the forces of business sometimes. But when businesses invest in the arts, individuals, foundations, and you use the arts to invigorate communities and to allow artists to speak with their creative spirit, I think it's incredibly inspiring.
That's wonderful. I know that this past year we had the opportunity through Darlington and through the county that had a really special moment for our visual artists across the county where your office is adorned with local artists. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Well, that was really wonderful. We had several arts organizations that came forward and lent us some artwork that's throughout our main headquarters suite in media. Unfortunately, even though I'm here right now, and I do try to come in sometimes, we mostly don't have any visitors here, of course, because of the virus. But we're looking forward to showcasing local artists at our headquarters in media in the future. I think that's a really important role that we can play in the community, because we often have people coming in and out for trainings and programs and meetings, and it's a way to expose them to the arts as well.
Yeah, and it is much appreciated to get that exposure for these artists who may not always have a space to go. And it's a great conversation starter. And being in your boardroom, it's a great way to see the visuals anyway. You mentioned that your father was a musician and that your son's a musician. Do you have an art memory or something that that sparks your passion for the arts?
Well, my dad was not a musician, but he loved music. He was an aficionado, I should say. One of my last things that I did for him before he passed away was to take him to a Philadelphia orchestra concert that he had never been to. He was new to the area, and it was he was just riveted. It was really wonderful. I think that whenever you walk into an art space, I think of visiting London and going into the British Museum, and there's a giant wall-size painting of Lady Jane Grey in prison, and it's just so arresting. Or where you have the opportunity to go to the Philadelphia Museum and see Aiken's surgery, his 2 paintings of surgery rooms is just amazing. But even locally, when I walk into the MG Fried Theater and I see local artists like Devin Walls, that whole artist warehouse network that he's developed in Chester, I think you just immediately, it causes you to step back and just sort of slow everything down and just, really just breathe in the creativity that goes into the work. And on one hand, you're slowing it down and breathing it in the creativity, and on the other hand, it sort of jazzes you up, and you just, oh my God, look at all this, ingenuity right in front of me. And I just, a lot of different situations like that I've been in that really, walking into MAC, the Media Arts Council, when there's a photography exhibit, and meeting the artists, and I loved last year in Delco Arts Week that the studio tour was part of it, because you got to go into the artist studios, and I ended up buying a piece of Alan Soffer's work for myself that's hanging in my office that I just love. I wish I could show it to you, because just looking at it every day just inspires me. Lots of different memories, not one particular one, but lots of different memories that where I can't even articulate exactly what I was feeling when I saw it, but I knew it was special.
I completely agree with you. I think arts it's a mood stabilizer, it's a mood enhancer. It's the way each day it can be impacted in small and big ways. And your purchase of local artists actually inspired me. The piece behind me is Lois Schlechter from Art 504. And it was when I went into your office, I'm like, I really should have some art in my space too. So thank you for that. Last year, as we mentioned, was a really fun time. I think we had about 35 events, and we had a kind of tongue-in-cheek competition going on between some of us arts leaders. Jared Loss at the Rockdale Arts District and I were trying to be the person who was at the most events that we could, and we found out that you, in fact, Frances, won. You were at the most events last year. So, looking at, I don't know if I hope that you've had a chance to look at delcoarts.org. Are there any virtual events that you saw that seem really interesting or that you're excited to partake in?
Well, I'm embarrassed to admit, because I have looked at the site, but what I need to do, which I did last year, which is why I got to go to so many events, was literally sat down with my calendar in the website, and I went through every single event that was happening, and I put what I could squeeze in and what I was interested in into my calendar. And that's on my list to do this week, so I'm prepared for Saturday. I just haven't done it yet, but I so admire that everybody has stepped up and that everybody's trying to do something virtually. Or there's a few things that are outside, socially distanced, that I noticed, and I think that's great too. I think there'll be a lot of really wonderful opportunities. And I have to say, my husband and I participated in a Philly Fringe Festival event the other night. It was the three magicians who had their piece was featured in the New York Times, actually, and there were 17 pages on the Zoom screen of 25 people on each screen. So you're talking over 400 people who were there watching this, and it was so riveting, and they managed to incorporate some, interaction. And then at the end, they panned in on everybody, and you just really felt just the power of the audience and how much we all are so longing to be in person again. And I'm hoping that will be next year. But meanwhile, we're going to be looking for opportunities to do things meaningfully virtually. And I really applaud all of you for stepping up and trying to make that happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing how in some instances that might even be better than being in person. We'll see.
Yeah, we're trying to find the positive spins of it too. You know, perpetuity, we'll be able to keep these videos, and it'll be part of our history forever.
Yeah.
Well, Frances, thank you once again for the support that you and the Foundation for Delaware County have brought to Delco Arts and Delco Arts Week. We're so appreciative of that, and we're so appreciative that you took the time today to chat with me. You know, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just to say that it's my pleasure, it's my honor. I know our board of directors and our whole team are just so grateful to have the opportunity to support your work, and we're looking forward to Delco Arts Week growing for years to come.
That's what we hope for too. Thank you, Frances. We're big fans of you too.
Thanks so much. Take care.